Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a story about power, about profit, and about a predator that was pushed right to the very edge of existence. Right now, there are fewer than 400 Sumatran tigers left in the entire world. This incredible animal, the very last tiger subspecies in Indonesia, is critically endangered. It's just clinging to survival in these tiny, shrinking patches of forest. So how on earth did we get here? Well, the answer isn't just about modern problems like poaching or logging. The real roots of this crisis, they're buried deep in the archives of a colonial empire.
Okay, so let's start with the grim reality of today. The Sumatran tiger is literally the last one standing in Indonesia. Its cousins, the Bali and Javan tigers, they were completely wiped out in the 20th century, gone forever. This is it. This is the last stand.
Now, to really understand the why behind all this, we've got to go back in time. We're heading to the Dutch East Indies, and specifically to the incredible island of Sumatra.
Let's set the scene. For decades, the Dutch colonial government had this system where they forced local people to grow cash crops for them. But right around 1870, everything changed. A huge shift towards private business was about to kick off a storm of development that would reshape the island forever.
And this was the trigger. It was called the Agrarian Law of 1870. It sounds kind of boring, but this one law basically privatized the jungle. It kicked off this massive land rush, with European companies just pouring in to clear the land for tobacco, for rubber, for coffee.
And this picture, this shows you exactly what that looked like. I mean, this isn't just some cleared land. This is the systematic dismantling of an entire ecosystem. The tiger's entire world was being taken apart, tree by tree, all for profit.
So as these new plantations and roads and railways just sliced right through the jungle, the tiger's hunting grounds basically vanished. Suddenly, people and tigers were forced into the same space, and that led to some very direct and very deadly conflict.
When you dig through the colonial records from this time, they are just filled with accounts of this new, intense conflict. This quote here, from way back in the 1780s, already calls the tiger the most destructive enemy. So you can only imagine how that fear exploded once the plantation boom started. For the local villagers and all the new workers on these plantations, the threat was just terrifyingly real. Colonial newspapers reported on it all the time. Desperate, starving tigers were attacking people more and more. These weren't just abstract statistics, these were daily horrors.
And so, of course, local people fought back. They had to. They came up with these really clever, deadly traps, sometimes run by specialists that called tiger shamans. And this part is absolutely crucial to understand. For them, killing a tiger was a grim necessity. It was purely an act of self-preservation.
But at the very same time, a completely different kind of hunt was becoming wildly popular with the colonial elite. And this one had nothing to do with self-preservation. Just take a close look at these images. I mean, really look. This wasn't about protecting a village. This was about power. Look at the clothes, the confident poses, the audience. This is a social event. It's a performance of total dominance.
So as a historian looking at these records, you have to ask yourself, what was really going on here? The official story was all about taming a dangerous land. But the evidence? Well, it points somewhere else. Was the tiger just an obstacle that needed to be removed? Or was it actually a status symbol you had to acquire?
And the numbers just back this up completely. They are staggering. In just a little over 4 decades, the colonial data reveals an almost industrial-scale slaughter. 1,182 tigers were officially recorded as killed.
And when you break that data down, you see the intensity. I mean, look at that spike after 1900. This period of peak killing lines up perfectly with the explosion of private plantations that followed that 1870 agrarian law. More cleared forests meant more conflict, yeah, but it also meant way more opportunities for trophy hunting.
So there you have it, the two worlds colliding, right there on the screen. For the local people, hunting a tiger was a desperate act to protect their families. For the colonial elites, it was a sport. It was a way to prove they had mastered this new wild land.
And the ultimate symbol of that mastery was the tiger skin. When you saw one of these hanging on the wall of a colonial official's home, it wasn't just a trophy. It was a political statement. It screamed, "I have conquered the wildness of this place." So after digging through all these archives, what are we supposed to take away from all this? Where does it leave us? Well, here's the legacy.
The Dutch Empire is gone, sure. The colonial officials left, the plantations got new owners, but the basic economic model, clearing huge areas of forest for cash crops, that has largely continued. The engine of habitat destruction that was started in the 19th century, it's still running today.
And this is exactly why looking at history this way is so important. As these historians argue, we need to see animals as actual historical actors. The tiger wasn't just a passive victim here. It was an active player whose very presence shaped colonial policy. Its decline wasn't an accident. It was a feature, not a bug, of this whole model of progress.
And that leaves us with this one final thought. With fewer than 400 Sumatran tigers left, maybe the key to saving their future isn't just about what we do now. Maybe it's about truly understanding the world this empire created, a world that, for the tiger, has never really gone away.